we include that and more. Yeah.
Yeah, looking forward to the conversation. I believe Anne-Marie is with us. Anne-Marie, good morning.
Morning. Happy
How are
Thursday.
you this morning?
I am well, thank you.
Wonderful. Happy to have you with us on this show. Of course, we were just briefly discussing ourselves, our perspective on the importance of 16 days of activism. But can you elaborate on the significance of the 16 days?
All right. The 16 days of activism against gender-based violence is an annual international campaign which was started by activists at the inaugural Women Global's Leadership Initiative in 1991. It continues to be a coordinated effort every year by the Center for Women and Global Leadership, and it's a time to galvanize action to end gender-based violence, particularly violence against women and girls around the world. So that's what one of the significance is. Also, the significance is in observing Unite, which is the campaign name, calls for governments, developmental partners, CSOs, FBOs, NGOs, young persons, the private sector, and the media to join in addressing gender-based violence around the world.
Now, thank you for sharing that, Anne-Marie. Can you share with us how crucial it is, particularly for community involvement when it comes to support and addressing gender-based violence?
It is crucial for community support because we have non-governmental organizations, we have various organizations that government partner with that do the work around gender-based violence. The Office of the Prime Minister Gender and Child Affairs Division is a financial support to NGOs that we give grants that particularly do the work around psychosocial, around mainstreaming, building capacity within the community. And we have our section that deals with the youth. And we have had 2 events during the International Men's Day, which is on the 19th of November, that dealt with issues around the youth. We deal with parenting. So community efforts are being done right now to curb the issue of gender-based violence.
Now, in addition to community efforts, of course, we have a national policy on gender and development, which I dare say go hand in hand. Can you share with us a little bit about the key initiatives of the national policy on gender and development?
All right. The National Gender Policy was laid in Parliament by the Honorable Ayanna Webster Roy back in 2018 and was approved by Parliament in order for all government agencies and the private sector and state agencies to use it as a guide to revisit their policies and to begin gender mainstreaming conversation. The national policy has 13 thematic areas, which include human security, which is thematic area 8, which feeds right into the observances of the 16 Days of Activism, which is one observance, and International Women's Day, which is coming in 2024, is another observance that we look at under that. Also, out of that thematic area came the specialty unit of Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, the Gender-Based Violence Unit, headed by Superintendent Quammie-Alleyne. And that unit specifically does training and ensures that the sensitization of the Trinidad and Tobago police is at par. So when a victim of any gender complain, they would have resources and know where to take them. Also, another important thematic area is the youth and persons with disabilities. And these 2 thematic areas look at partnering with ministries like Ministry of Youth and Ministry of Social Development and Family Services to collaborate with programs so that the government effort in dealing with gender-based violence and the government's response in dealing with gender-based violence is holistic. The Ministry of Planning recently engaged the Gender Affairs Division to assist in editing and reviewing the national policy on climate change, because that's one of the thematic areas. So across time, the policy is being used by government agencies and state agencies like First Citizens Bank and TNTech, WASA, just to name a few.
Wonderful to hear that there is that alignment between all involved, and even some of those that may not necessarily have first come to mind as we started this conversation, specifically on the theme of gender-based violence. Now, Anne-Marie, one of the things that you would have shared off-air is that there are some events coming up that we need to discuss in light of the 16 Days of Activism. Can you share with us some more information?
Yes. On Saturday, when the 16 days begin, it begins on Saturday, November 25th, and ends on December 10th. During that period, it's the 16 days. The first thing that we have on our agenda is an important message that will be in the Trinidad and Tobago newspapers and our online, on our website. And the message will be on the achievements of the Honorable Ayanna Webster Roy and what her agenda is for the coming year. This second thing would be a call to action to all ministries and agencies to wear orange. On Saturday, you can have on an orange T-shirt when you read the news. That would be really wonderful. So we're asking all media stations just to wear something orange on that day, and we are calling it a call to action. And then the walk. The walk is with the Port of Spain Community-Oriented Policing Section, and it's a community walk that says all hands on deck, all boots on the ground, walking for a brighter tomorrow. And we will be part of that walk, and we will be joined by UNFPA, we will be joined by other UN groups, we will be joined by some NGOs like We Care Deaf Support, who is supporting the hearing impaired, and other agencies. So we should be about 100 strong as part of this walk. Then we will be looking at our NAC unit on the 28th. We'll be having their first virtual town hall on HIV and testing. And items under that virtual town hall meeting will be understanding the results of testing, the best time to test, and how to prevent HIV transmission when you have been accidentally exposed or abused. On Monday the 4th, we'll be partnering with Ministry of Local Government to have empowering government councillors through online gender mainstreaming, and that will be building the capacity of our councillors who've just been newly elected, so they can have a better response in the community to gender-based violence. And that's one of the things we are doing.
Wonderful.
On December 5, one more thing. On December 5, we'll be having a triple threat webinar looking at teen pregnancy, HIV, and gender-based violence.
What an incredible lineup, of course, for a good cause. Anne-Marie, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Looking forward to having you back on the show to continue, of course, as we go into the 16 days of activism, and looking forward to seeing this be something that is going to continue to roll out and make those changes throughout Trinidad and Tobago and hopefully affect the region as well. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you so much for having us, and thank you again. Bye.
It is our pleasure. Anne-Marie Quammie-Alleyne, Coordinator of the National Policy on Gender and Development, right here on the Now Morning Show. Stay tuned. Your birthdays are coming up right after this.